I'm Big Al, and we're back at Oxnard Skate Park, and today we're going to be dipping into some backside airs, okay? A good setup trick for other tricks, you see a lot of people on vert, they'll do a backside air before they set up for like a McTwist, a 900, for some crazy trick. So backside air is a really good trick to learn in transition to get other tricks started. So there's a few steps to backside airs before starting to learn them. The first thing that we're going to go over when doing backside airs is foot placement, okay? A good starting point for backside airs, again, back foot on the tail, front foot on the bolts or right under. The reason for this is when you're going towards the coping, you're going to start manually and kicking the board up into your hand, and when you do so, you're going to be grabbing on the side. I either grab on the nose or on the side of the nose. That's a good place to start doing backside airs. There's also backside melons. People also consider those backside airs. That's where you grab behind the front leg, but that's a little bit harder and you need some more air time. So in this video, we'll just be covering backside airs in front of the front foot, either on the side of the nose or in the front of the nose. So how I learned them is I would just start doing kick turns slowly up by the coping. I would literally just go up to the coping right here. I would do kick turns and I would grab my nose and just come back in. But besides that, let's do some backside airs. Let me show you the way I worked my way up doing kick turns. I'm gonna do some kick turn nose grabs, and you guys will see the process of how starting low and working your way up can turn it into a backside air. So stay tuned, here we go. So this is a good quarter pipe to start doing the backside airs on, because as you can see here, it really starts going to vert at this spot right here, which will be good for kicking us back into the quarter pipe. It's better than doing the backside air on a wall like this, because when you go up to the coping, you're going to be pushing out and there's not enough leverage on the quarter pipe to kick you back in, so you might have a chance of hanging up. So that's why I say start on a bigger quarter pipe. It's easier to catch air. Another thing with backside airs is a lot of people think, you just ollie or you just go off the coping. People do a little bit of both. Some people ollie, sometimes I ollie, and sometimes I go off the coping. I've learned that the bigger the quarter pipe is, the more vert. I'm just gonna go off the coping. It's easier to stay to the wall. It's easier to avoid hanging up, and it's easier to avoid going to flat. So when it has vert, I don't even ollie. When it's something like this, I do ollie so I can kick myself back into the quarter pipe so I don't hang up. Another way people air, people like Tony Hawk for instance, is they like to go up and right about here they start scraping their tail. So it's half an ollie, half going off the coping. And once they get to the coping, they scrape their tail off the coping, allowing their board to kick back and land back in the transition. But there's different ways to do it, so I'm going to show you guys a few different ways. Another crucial point to doing backside airs is your body weight. You want to have your body leaned in with the transition. You don't want to be leaned back so you slip out. You don't want to be too far forward so you just straight, plummet to the ground. So having your body over the board, keeping your body weight evenly distributed on the transition is key to getting backside airs down. But let's keep doing the nose grabs and working our way up. Always spot your landing when you're in there. Make sure you're not too far on the deck. Throw out your board so you don't hang out. Make sure you're not going to flat. If something feels off, just kick out your board, run out, tuck and roll. If you have pads, knee slide out. But just keep going for it, guys. It's gonna happen. Another good place to start doing backside airs is over hips. It's easier to catch air over hips because, you know, it's kind of like a fly out in a sense. You kind of just air over the hip, catch it back in the transition. So I'm gonna try them over this hip. If you have a hip at your park, you know, I would say try it on the hip first. It helps you get used to the idea, just like the front side airs, you know. It's kind of like a fly out. Do a few fly outs, get used to the grab. Start taking them over a hip so you get used to landing back in the transition. And then start doing the kick turn process. Kick turn grabbing the nose on a quarter pipe, flat wall. And then you'll start catching air that way, you know. There's different ways to go about it, so don't get just stuck on one, you know. Try different ones, it helps you get used to it. All right, guys, so that's backside airs. I hope you guys understand the basics of them. You know, if you want to take them higher over time, you just got to grab later. Let the board come to your hand, kind of like the vacuum technique. You know, instead of reaching down and grabbing the board, after you leave the coping, let the board come up to your hand, and then you just keep going up, you know, until you're ready to come back down. But you don't go big right away. You work your way up, you know. Big Al didn't become Big Al right away. He was Little Al, and he worked his way into Big Al. So remember that, guys. See you on the next one. Much love. Take care, and have a great week.